Hello, Mrs. Saunders. I've pushed the button.
Hello, Mrs. Jones. How are you today?
I'm very good, and the sun has only just gone in sunny Cambridgeshire. It's good. It's very good. It's quite chilly, but
well, it's bloody freezing here in Saunders Towers, because we've got the plumber in, and I'm all discombobulated. Why? I mean, it's nothing to do with me. It's happening in the upstairs bathroom, and I've barely seen the bloke. He's been up and down the stairs. You may hear actually noises because the stairs are just near the side.
Well, didn't we have the IT department falling down them last week?
We did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. So I hope the plumber doesn't fall down them. But yeah, so it's been like Baltic here because they've been in and out the door.
No, not good. So, hello, Mrs. Saunders. As I said earlier, I'm repeating myself now. I'm Claire Jones, and I am on the edge of the fens. And I normally have a camera stuck to my face. God, it was good having a camera stuck to my face on Friday, but more of that shortly. It's episode 65, and I am bowing to royalty, rugby royalty. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Where are you first before we go to the story?
Where am I? I'm in South Northants, very close to the border. Deep in the Bible Belt, really, I suppose you could say. Yes, very close to the Milton Keynes border, but we're just the Northamptonshire side. Yeah, and it's been, I can actually see a bit of blue sky out there at the moment, but the weather's not been brilliant today. And it has been cold, very, very cold. Yeah.
It has been a bit nippy around here as well. Anyway.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm at 65 episodes in, and last night she springs a story on me where I'm going, seriously, mate? Seriously?
To be honest, I hadn't realised myself. And you say rugby royalty, but it's more like being a rugby midwife, I think. So it would appear. So I was reading an article about, I can't even remember where I sent you the link, didn't I?
You did send me the link, yes. It was about early women's rugby and early, those who were involved with the sport very early on.
That's right, the Magnificent Four or something, wasn't it? And one of these was a woman called Deborah Griffin, Debbie, as I knew her, and we were both at UCL. And she said she was involved in one of the first ever women's rugby matches played in 1978 when UCL played Kings. I suddenly thought, well, I played in that. In fact, not only did I play in that, I was on the coaching setup because I didn't want to play in it. I was a hockey player. I was not comfortable playing sport without a weapon. Really, this is, play squash, but no, this was, anyway. So when we got the challenge from Kings, so UCL and Kings are rivals, and they challenge each other to sports, or they used to. I don't know if it still goes on. It probably doesn't, because somebody would probably get offended. Twice a year, so so it's Commem games in the Christmas term and Foundation games in the Easter term, and Commem games Kings hosted it and Foundation we hosted it anyway. So this must have been. So this was at our place. So it was for the Foundation Games, which was the end of Easter. This time of year it would have been. And so we were challenged to this by Kings, and so that the men's rugby said, right, well, we've got to set up, got to get coaches, got to get women involved. And well, Liz, you've got to be involved because you're the only woman that knows all the laws. And then they thought, actually, you're the only person who knows all the laws. And I didn't, but I just knew more than them. And so I was involved in the coaching, and then we hadn't got enough, so I had to play. So I played fullback, and it was a very, very bad-tempered game, really. And at one point, I had to check where the referee was and that he couldn't see me, because I had to go and punch their prop because she was trying to screw Debbie's leg off, and Debbie didn't have the sort of leg that could be unscrewed. So I had to go and punch her and then run back to place. And just when we finished, When we finished and got off the pitch and somebody just handed me a pint, I just went, well, that looks better or that feels better. I don't ever want to do that again. That was horrible. And in fact, in my final year, I went out with the bloke who'd coached the King's side. I know, talk about sleeping with the enemy. I mean, and he said he'd had to give up coaching because as far as he could see, it was just big, ugly women trying to rip the heads off pretty little women. So I just went, oh, I just, yeah. Yeah. So there was. So it was a bit brutal in the early days. So, but Debbie went on then she went on to set up Richmond women's rugby team and part of the first Women's World Cup and also president of first female president, something or other. Can't remember now, but yeah. So she was the scrum half and I was full back, and I hadn't realised how important that game was until I read it.
The history of the women's game. There you go. So you know.
So not only was I one of the first women journalists, which I knew, first women writers on rugby, but there you go. I was unwittingly, it would appear, involved in one of the first women's games.
So my only connection with rugby was to suggest. Now you probably are aware of this because of Hannah's connection, but it used to be the boys' school and the high school would play each other at two sports every year. And usually they were netball and basketball. We did suggest hockey, but apparently that involved weapons, so they they refused. And I jokingly said, well, how about rugby? To which I got the icy Paddington stare of, what the actual... So it never went beyond the suggestion. But I'd have loved to have seen the looks on their faces. When we did play the boring basketball netball switch, this would have been 1976, so 2 years before you were playing at university. When we did do the switch, the upper thirds, this sounds like something out of... Anyway.
As soon as you mention those forms, it always sounds like something from an Enid Blyton novel. Yeah.
Yeah. Or what's the schoolgirls? The films.
Oh, St Trinians.
St Trinians, yes. So the upper thirds thought it would be highly amusing, whilst the boys were being given a tour, I believe, of the school, that they nipped into the changing room and swapped the boys' shorts for their skirts, completely forgetting that actually they were now the world's worst criminals because, of course, we had to embroider our initials on the outside of the skirts and the names were written on the inside. So, yeah. Happy days. Yes, but no, rugby. I think if Miss Lightburn, so those from Northampton in the 1970s and 80s will remember that name. Miss Lightburn would have passed out rather than have her girls playing rugby. That would just be a step too far. But well, there you go, Liz. 2 firsts.
Well, yeah, I going to say unwittingly with the one. Just didn't realise. Just read that article. Hang on a minute. Oh, fast.
So
and it's quite interesting. When we were setting up the training, so we were doing a training session at sort of up in the gym somewhere, and with this bloke, he was studying naval architecture. Who knew? What even is that? He was in the Navy and he's doing a master's in naval architecture. Ian Wakelin, I think that was his name. Very careful how you say that. And so he's going, right, so, Liz, I'd like you to run up the gym with the ball and I'm going to show you how to do the classic tackle. Well, he did come at me with the classic tackle because when you're doing a classic tackle, the classic handoff is perfect. So I did the classic handoff. And that, ladies, is a classic handoff to a classic tackle. Idiot.
Yes.
I don't know what your ulterior motive was, but get up.
Get up. Navy Larks and all that. Anyway, yes, so first match of the weekend that we're going to talk about, talking of military things, but one of the other services, Bedford Blues played the British Army.
Yeah, wasn't it nice to be back to live rugby?
Back to live rugby. It was a lovely, balmy evening, whereas the match in the last season was in a deluge. So it was a lovely evening, bit chilly round the gills, but it was, it was good. It was very good. And the Blues ran out comfortable winners, 70-something to 20-something. But it was just a nice evening. I think the Army were all a bit crestfallen and telling each other off and stay in the fight. And quite a lot of rude words in the huddles. But Saints had 4 representatives. I don't think I've forgotten anybody. Belters, who had a good game. Very good game.
Well done, Belfast. So
right in front of the red hat. So it's on record. Louis Haley, more of him in a minute. Rafe. So Paul was, the IT department was very happy. Lots of references to coasting down the wing. And then the lovely Archie Benson was in the back row and played really, really well. But the new name on the list, I think for all of us, is Louis Haley.
Wow.
Louis is a recent into the junior academy. He was in last year's under-18s and he had a belter of a game. Absolute belter of a game. I don't know whether it's his first adult game of rugby, but that's a young man who did not look phased. He just got stuck right in and had a beautiful game. And he was kicking the ball from all sorts of wonderful angles. I mean, it's like, whoa, what the hell? Where's he come from? It's just amazing. It went down very well with the faithful.
In Bedford, the angles, there are so many angles at Bedford, aren't there? It was real.
With all the slopes.
You've not just got the angle going how you've got to get it that way, but you've got that way as well. So
no, he was absolutely...
He ran the game so well. He was just...
But did you notice, is his role model a Mr. F. Smith? Because his tackling went half bad. Because running down his channel, he had a number of Fijians who were a bit surprised.
It was huge! It was huge!
Louis not the tallest at the moment. I imagine, he's only 19. And he had some very large Fijians coming straight down his channel, and he was completely unfazed, which they were a bit nonplussed by as they hit the deck at great rate of knots. So outstanding performance from the young man, and he was clearly enjoying himself. A former junior blue, so he used to be in the Blues Academy and has moved across to our academy. So well done to Bedford producing such talent. And then we found another family connection with the Blues, didn't we?
We did. Well, Sherpa too found it, I believe, didn't he?
Yes. So Rafe, his dad Giles, used to play for the Blues.
Yeah. And
some wag put on the photo that Sherpa 2 put on Instagram going, which is which?
They were very similar poses, actually. It was really good.
Yes, well, that was deliberate. Sherpa 2 made me work for my money. Yes. What money?
Right too.
What money? What am I on about? Money. So, yes, it was deliberate. It was absolutely deliberate. But no, I think all the Saintsmen did well. In fact, all the Blues did well. I think it was a really good run out for them because they're, of course, a bit like the Saints, they're back to the Championship next weekend. So when they go down to Hartbury. But I think it was a good run out for Mikey Raya's men. But I don't think it was a particularly good run out for the British Army.
No, I don't think it was the preparation they wanted.
No, that was the second tonking in 8 days because apparently Nottingham put them to the sword as well. So, yeah, the Army have got a lot of work to do in the coming weeks.
There's all sorts going on there, isn't there? You said put them to the sword, prove them.
No, I can't help it.
It's just lining up.
Comedy
really,
gold. Comedy gold.
it was quite fun. I do love the way they have to be announced by their rank as well.
Yes. So. Yes. And the major, did you notice the major was the medic?
Was he?
I'm not getting involved in that. I'll just run on with my bucket. Yes.
With sponge.
Yeah,
I'll just command them to get better.
Yes, come on. Yes,
don't need anything else. I'll just tell them to get better.
That actually sounds like the huddle. Yes, only I didn't use any rude words, of which there were plenty. So, lots of tries up the slope. Shall we have a look at... shall I show you a picture of Louis? For those of you who don't know, and sorry for those on Spotify, you need to have a look. There is the young man playing down the slope, as Saints did, with Mr. Witheats in the background. And, he played exceptionally well. And it was just fun to watch. I mean, imagine if you're an army type, it wasn't that fun to watch. But here he is. Yeah. So it was a cracking evening. It was good fun, and well played, Bedford.
Which is more than can be said for another game that was going on Friday night.
We were a bit cross, weren't we? And we were worried the previous week, weren't we?
We were. We did wonder what. Yeah. So England under 20s lost to Wales under 20s.
A lot to think on.
Yeah, 23-13. It wasn't a narrow thing either. And I was going to say, I'd written here, what happened? Well, they didn't have Henry, did they? Or Archie, or Johnny Vyman, because they managed to break them all. Well, not Henry, but Archie and John.
And they started, Ollie having played so well the previous week, they started him on the bench. I think the vim and vigour had wandered off.
He was at the Millennium Stadium, wasn't he?
Desperate to say Arms Park, ladies and gentlemen. Going down memory lane.
I'm very old. I know it's been the Millennium. It's not even that anymore, is it? It was Principality.
It's the Principality now.
Well, there you go. You see, I mean, it was always the Arms Park. It was,
which has got a plastic pitch now. Anyway, instead of the bog it used to be. So yes. Well done to Wales under 20s, because they'd had a difficult campaign, and Welsh rugby does, much as Liz likes, doesn't like a Welshman winning anything. I think we do need Welsh rugby to have a bit of a revival. So having their youngsters playing well is good. But I think there was an awful lot of hype around that game. And I do wonder whether it really helped the young lads at all, because it just didn't look like them. So I'm sure Mark Mapletoft, it meant the French won the championship, which, oh dear. So, but there you go, another year. And we have even more Saints who qualify, because we've got a number of coming through. We said last week that coming through, so it'd be interesting to see who goes on the summer tour, who starts, how Mark Mapletoft revamps his squad, because he needs to, because some are too old now. Quite a few of our lads, the likes of Johnny and Ollie, are still young enough to go again. So it'll be interesting to see, but it's a bit of a shame.
And I was going to say, there should be a whole load coming up from the under 18s, who are probably still under 18, but will play in the under 20s. I would have thought.
Yeah.
We've got a whole load in there, so yeah.
And I think everybody's got to stop saying, where's the next Henry Pollock coming from? That's not what it's about. It really isn't what it's about. There's only one. And Henry
is a once in a lifetime player.
Yeah.
He's not even a once in a generation player. Yeah. He is absolutely something else. I can't recall a player like Henry, that just
so certain of his talents and delivers. It's just extraordinary. But we will talk more about Henry. It would be rude of us not to, given the weekend.
So let's go back to Bedford and player of the match. Something we actually said.
Meanwhile, back at the
So
slope.
obviously it would have been Henry, even though he wasn't playing, because it's a foregone conclusion that Henry is man of the match in every match that happens. However, he wasn't playing, so we do have to award it to somebody who was on the pitch.
Indeed.
We have no doubt in our mind who it was.
It is the man himself, Louis Haley. Louis, congratulations. You were outstanding. Just assured, his backs and forwards knew exactly what he wanted, what they wanted from him. He was playing with some old heads, which I think, having James Lennon as your scrum half, James is a very experienced operator, but I think even he would have been very impressed with how Henry played on Henry. Oh, God. Louis plays. Pack it in, Jones. Louis. He's definitely Louis, and he had an outstanding game. So the Ladies Wot Pod Player of the Match. Now, the Sgt Wilson Award.
Well, I have a bit of a rogue one here, which happened at the Towcester Under 10s.
Oh, excellent! I like a rogue one. Oh, well, we'll talk about that when we get to that.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Well, we can talk about it now because it was the Towcester coach who was reffing, who, when he had to award a penalty against the opposition, not Toes. I mean, Toes were on the sticky end of a pasting anyway. Apologised to the player. I'm terribly sorry, but I got. I just thought it was so sweet.
Oh, absolutely. And the gentleman's name was?
I don't know what his name is.
So an unknown coach. Let's find out for next week, because that would be, we do need to recognise the gentleman properly. But well done to him. Yes, refereeing junior games is fun.
Yeah, but it was just he apologised. Just made us laugh, really.
Excellent. Before we get on to England, I think the 20-minute red card thing has reared its ugly head again, hasn't it?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So, I'm sorry, since when was a headbutt a yellow card?
Yeah.
We're talking about the French hooker, whose name I've forgotten, who headbutted Ben White whilst prone on the ground after the whistle. There is so much that's wrong with what happened. The intensity, the force, it doesn't matter. It's after the whistle. He's prone. He headbutts him. That's a straight red. I don't know why we have to have a debate about was Ben concussed, the force, the height. It's a red card. And we've got ourselves into a complete mess over this now, that even the referees are confused. So we do have to sort this out. You can't have thuggery like that on a rugby pitch. Even if it might be a Welshman. I didn't say that. But
Grumpy Carly has never been shy about flashing a red card, has he?
No, but I think the rules are so complicated about when he goes to the bunker. I mean, how the man in the bunker didn't go after the whistle? Prone. Right, straight red.
Was he South African in the bunker?
I have no idea who he was, but collectively that was a brain fart on all parts. And I'm afraid the hooker should have been toast. Anyway, so I don't think the question I've got, and I don't know the answer, is: have we got 20-minute red cards in the Gallagher Premiership from now on?
Surely not, because they won't all have a bunker.
Well, yes, but no, nobody said. So I think it's one of those that they need to clarify under what. Because you could see there was a game. Referees are getting confused because depending on the competition, they're applying different rules. We've had it in the Premiership Rugby Cup when they've forgotten that they don't have a TMO. So we are starting to see referees make mistakes, not because they're doing the wrong thing or, they are doing the wrong thing, but with the right, they've just got the wrong frame in their head. So we've had referees not award tries to go upstairs, then realise there isn't an upstairs. Yeah. So there's we are making things really complicated for the referees. And I think if we bring new laws in at the adult game, it should be done regionally and at the start of that season for that region.
Yeah, we
can't have it that, you know, the Premiership Rugby Cup's played under one set of laws and the Gallagher Premiership's played under another set, and the EPCR bring in a third set for the two European competitions, and then we play the Six Nations under another. It just doesn't. It's just madness. Please, can we not do that?
When you're trying to grow the game, for pity's sake. So you take somebody along to a game and you explain, oh, that's happened because this, and this. So the next time they go to a game and it's a different competition and the same thing happens and there's a different outcome. Well, why is that? Well, because that was... I mean, how absolutely stupid does that make rugby sound?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they can do that in this now because it's different laws for this competition.
Yeah, it's all getting a bit. It's all getting very silly. So we do need to sort that out. But anyway, England. So we had Ireland. Really, I mean, I only saw a bit of the game. Ireland not having a particularly good afternoon in Italy against the Italians, which showed actually how well England had done the previous week and how really well the French had done the week before that, or the 2 weeks before that. And so we came to Wales versus England, which has been a banana skin of a match so many times. We've gone down the M4 and come back with naffle. So, Liz, you were in full nervous mode, weren't you?
Oh, good Lord! Absolutely was. I shut myself in here. I was sewing a complex bit of sewing stuff just so that I could concentrate fully on it and not have to have half an ear. But then the IT department kept coming through and going, oh, so and so scored, Primo scored. So I get them to pop out, and even at half time I was thinking they'll come back out and the Welsh will just find their first wind, because they've found that, they let alone their second wind, and it will be horrible. And we've been here before, it'll just be horrible. And it wasn't. So I did relax. And actually watch the last quarter of an hour. So, in fact, it might have been longer than that. It might have been 20 minutes.
I thought it was an incredibly assured performance on the part of the England team.
Absolutely.
You could see people were starting to recognise where everything was going. I thought Tom Roebuck coming in on the wing... I rate Roebuck anyway, and he had an outstanding debut.
Really well.
Did really, really well. Marcus Smith, who we have criticised for not being a fullback. Well, he isn't, because he's a fly-off. I thought actually he's learnt how to catch a ball. So, you know,
he wasn't being comfortable. Yeah, and he was looking more to how it fitted in with everything else.
Yes.
Not just I'm going to hitch kick from several miles out and run like a demented fluffy.
So they looked much more cohesive and playing for each other, which then there was a lot of messages along that line. I thought, you could see that having that Saints continuity in midfield was just brilliant. And well done. It's not often we've said this, but well done for Mr. Borthwick being, a bit left field. Moving Ben Earl into centre isn't something we would have expected. But it kind of works. Ben looked a bit lost, but you would do, given he's on the back row normally. But he got going. So it was really good.
And it meant that everybody's favourite child could come on. Well, not everybody's.
48 minutes. On he comes. And the next 32 minutes, he's got a highlight reel off one.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely.
He's got the complete set. He's got the being a scurrilous back rower, in a nil back mode of holding on to somebody's sock, such that he gave away a penalty for retaliation. I was just priceless. I love the fact that BBC called it housery, because they were a bit polite. It's a shit house, guys. But anyway, yes, but well spotted on the sock front. And
but how embarrassed is that prop going to be that the 20-year-old had come
but
on
then, of course,
by holding on to
up when the penalty's given. It's like high-fiving. Hey! The old ones, even when I'm 20. So, yes, and then of course he scores 2 tries. He certainly, and having told Primo that he was going to score a try down the wing, and demonstrated his celebration. The boy, as somebody wrote in one of the newspapers today, is just irrepressible. But he delivers.
Yes.
Every time he delivers. And yeah, he's our pest. He's our irrepressible Henry. And he puts a smile on people's faces because this bundle of energy just can't help himself when he comes on the pitch. And I think we can also, now I said to you earlier, I said, Mr. Quar, you need to do a highlight reel of parental celebrations.
Saintly parental celebrations. You know, we've got the Smiths. Yeah. We've got the Pollocks. We've got Fremo's dad. Fremo's dad looking, very happy. So, yeah, we need a highlight reel of Saint, because Hester didn't let us down. She was bouncing like a good one. Absolutely, So, yeah. Absolutely, but it's what rugby needs is somebody as up and joyous as Henry, and already there are stories about him. So the one I read in the Times. So, for those of you who don't know, David Walsh, who's a very respected sports writer across many sports, I think he was the guy that revealed about Armstrong and the drug taking, wasn't he? He was part of that. Anyway, yes. So he writes across many sports, but he's been allowed access to the England camps throughout this year. So it started back in January when they went off to Girona, all the way through to whatever they've been doing in the Six Nations. And he tells a story of the young Tyro holding his tackle bag, and they're doing the thing which we've all seen many times, which is you hold the tackle bag while your mate crashes into you, and your job is to resist the tackle as they try and knock 7 bells out of you. Of course, Henry has to take it on the stage further because he not only resists, 3 stones lighter. Chester was 6'7", Henry 6'2", is he? Yeah. Something like that. So Ollie Chesham at full tilt hits Henry, who then proceeds to resist the tackle and nick the ball off Ollie Chesham. I think Ollie Chesham as well. They probably thought
of everybody there go, what the hell happened there? Henry is the answer.
You could just imagine Ollie Chesham going, I'm going to show this young Tyro who's boss here. And no, that's embarrassing, really.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he was dumped on his backside several times later that afternoon. But we'd already seen him do it. So if Chester watched the highlight highlight reel even, the previous week in Paris, he did exactly the same thing and scored a try off the back of it. Yeah. So, you have to watch Henry very carefully. But yes. So thank you, Henry. The world is a much better place when Henry Pollock is at full tilt. Although I imagine in training this week, somebody will be squashing him flat because that's the way of rugby players. There'll be some evil deed to deal with him this week.
I suspect there's a couple of Australian back rowers already planning how they're going to sort him out.
Yes.
Not looking anywhere in particular, but that's where my money would lie as to how we bring him in. Yes. He doesn't need bringing back down to earth, to be fair. He's one of the most grounded and delightful.
He is a delightful young man and utterly charming. So, And he was completely bowled over by the Princess of Wales. Of course, I don't know if you know, but both of them actually went in the changing room. But, of course, William's not allowed to be in the photos because he's supposedly...
WRFU, yeah.
He's supposedly supporting the opposition. Yes. So I think Henry... I think all the same...
How lucky for the Princess of Wales. I mean, she gets to watch rugby and meet Henry Pollock.
Henry Pollock, yeah. Well, he was certainly wowed. So well done to England. It was a utterly convincing win. But actually, it's playing the sort of rugby that we really wanted them to play right from the very start. Who knows what could have happened in Dublin if we'd have played that team then. The Lions talk is now building to fever pitch.
Well, we'll see what happens.
But it will be interesting to see where we go there. And Liz didn't react well, Guinness Six Nations, to your choice of up-and-coming player or breakthrough player.
Oh, for pity's sake! Oh, that's absolutely ridiculous. Honest to God. What? Okay, angry. How did the 12-year-old French winger, double-barrel winger chap not be on that list? How? He's scored more tries than anybody ever before in the field of human... And he's not even on the list. And you've got that Sam Thingy, number 10, Irish chap. Oh, I'm so ranty, I've forgotten names. I mean, it was just a ridiculous
Sam Pendergast, who actually won it. And they milked, they absolutely milked the awarding of it because apparently the poor love had to be photographed twice, being presented with his award. So he had to go through it twice. So maybe Mr. Double-Barrel Frenchman, who is utterly brilliant and stole the show when it came to this wonderful player. And absolutely, he was the breakthrough player, but hey, no, not according to Guinness Six Nations. Head scratching all round. Anyway, well done to Fremo. Well done to Fremo for scoring in every round of the Six Nations. Hasn't been done since the first time it was done was by a Frenchman, apparently. And so he's the first Englishman to do it and the second player to do it. So well done to Fremo. Somebody asked on Saint Sinners about when was the last time four Saints players scored in a game? Well, the answer is against Georgia in 2003.
Just to say, because we've mentioned Fremo, mentioned Henry, Finn's kicking from the tee was absolutely good. Missed one, but the rest of it was absolutely fantastic. And Mitch's try was such a thing of beauty. I mean, you can see this. Wasn't there a possibility that he could have had a trial for someone like Manchester City or something? That seems to ring a bell. There was some
reference to
he is
he's an all-round athlete. Yeah,
beautiful try. So well done, Mitch. So all of our boys played fantastic, and Dingers was just Dingers. Why say just Dingers? We know it isn't just Dingers. What he does is so important, but so quiet and unassuming.
But he is the man who's always alert. So Genge heads the ball forward. Who's there first? Dingers, because he's realised what's occurring, and of course puts whoever away for the try. So Dingers was Dingers.
I read somewhere about how often he was the pass before the pass that made the try.
Yeah, he starts it
all
off.
He was the foundation pass that gave the next passee enough time to pass to the person.
And young Finn Smith. Who do you think you are? Rory Hutchinson?
Yeah.
That pass off his left hand to Tom Roebuck. I give you Rory Hutchinson. Anything you can do, Hutch, I can do too.
Absolutely, it was a beautiful pass. Absolutely
gorgeous pass. Absolutely gorgeous pass. And if it was Anton Dupont who'd thrown that pass, we'd be talking about it to the end of time. But anyway.
And his pass, I was going to say, we don't even count the pass to Fremo because they just know they're just
they
that
just know it's just on a bit of a... Well, it wasn't Fremo, it was Tom Roebuck, so... No,
there was one but he made the pass to Fremo to go in for his try as well.
Oh, yeah, when he came cut across midfield. Yeah.
So, but we don't count those because we expect those
they just know each other, yeah. So England finished second. Who'd have predicted that at the start after the first match? So well done, everybody. And but I think the most impressive thing is there are more and more combinations that are beginning to work, and younger players coming through. England managed to break several of our players.
Yes.
Latest casualty.
Yeah, Mr. Angry.
Mr. Angry. Seriously. I don't know. But I think all in all, the Six Nations, I think it was good. Well, I think, given where we got to with England A, with England, fine. Really unfortunate what happened with the under-20s, but I'm sure Mr. Mapletoft will bring them through again. So, talking of England, the Red Roses...
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, actually, let's talk. Should we? No. We've got a much more important fixture against the Welsh.
Yeah, England Deaf, who were playing the Welsh Deaf, and nilled them 66-0. And that's just, I might just write that out somewhere and look at it when I'm feeling a bit fed up. Really, that's a hell of a result. And of course, the secretary of the Cricket Club is former past president of England Deaf Rugby, and I think played England Deaf Rugby. So anyway, well done to England Deaf Rugby. That's brilliant.
I shot an England Deaf Rugby game last year. Was it against the Welsh? It might have been, I did actually shoot a game last year. It was at Goldington Road, wasn't it? It might have been against the Welsh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've shot England Deaf games several times, including the amazing win against the All Blacks in 2017, when they came back from one test down to win 2-1, playing at Barking in Essex. Miss J's old club.
And Jason Leonard's old club.
Jason Leonard's old club. So Jason of Leonard, yes, opposite the... Ford car plant, as was.
Fun bus himself.
I'm sorry?
The Fun Bus himself.
The Fun Bus himself, who did make an appearance, and yes, to support the game, which was great. But I think England Deaf Rugby is great fun to watch, and I really, really enjoy the game. So if you get a chance to go and watch it, ladies and gentlemen, do take it on, because they're a lovely bunch of people, very welcoming. And I really enjoy it. I'm just trying to remember which country they played. I'm sure it must be the Welsh last season at Goldington Road.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah. So apologies to that, but it's great fun. It is great fun, and well done to everybody concerned. And now, of course, we move on to the women's Six Nations.
Now to the Red Roses.
Now to the Red Roses. So this afternoon we found out who will be in the match squad, so the full squad for the Six Nations, and Loughborough Lightning players who will be representing their country for England. I don't know about Scotland yet. Sadia Kabea, Helena Rowland, some whippersnapper called Emily Scarrett, and Lily Ives Campion. So...
well done, girls.
Well done, girls. Have a good time, and I hope it all goes well for you. And the great news is I got Scottish Rugby Union accreditation to shoot the match between Scotland and Wales this weekend, which means that Dr. Jones and I will be hurtling up the M1 on Saturday to get to the Hive in time. I'm so excited. It came through earlier today, so can't wait.
Had you thought of not driving back to Cambridge on Friday night? stopping somewhere, so you're a bit closer to going up
Well, that's
north.
why we're staying in Northampton, so we're not going back to Cambridge.
That's
we're staying in Northampton and then dashing up the M1. So no, we're not driving back to Cambridge.
Sense.
That was just madness. No, we're staying in a hotel in Northampton, and then we're driving up to the Hive, and then
even for you two, that would be bloody.
That would be just insane. Yes, that would be madness beyond madness. And then we're staying in Edinburgh on Saturday night.
Right.
And then heading back south on Sunday. But I can't wait. When having been to that game when Scotland played Italy a couple of seasons ago, I just wanted to shoot a game at the Hive because it's such a lovely ground.
It's all you've talked about ever since, really. I'm so glad you're doing it.
I've been quite tedious about it, haven't I? Yes.
Yeah, yes. If I'm honest. Yeah.
But yeah, but before then, we have to talk about Towcester.
Towcester Under 10s. So it's Long Buckby Mini Festival on Sunday, and they've done it quite well, really. Possibly, unless you've got a child in both camps. So the odd numbered age groups, so 7, 9, 11s, were in the morning, and then the even numbers, so 8, 10, 12s were started at 12 o'clock and ran right over lunchtime. Really, anyway, very. Now I get hangry. Anyway, but I thought that was quite well organised. The International Man of Mystery, Alfie, was being a socialite. He was off partying in the morning. They were doing bowling, so it was horrible, apparently. Well, he enjoyed himself. Hannah, his mother, not so much so. She said, it was one of those where all the parents stayed, so I didn't think I could slope off to Costa. And they were so noisy. And 8-year-olds, they haven't got a great attention. 7-year-olds,
No.
they haven't got a great attention span, so they very quickly get bored of bowling. And they had their pizza at 10:30 in the morning. It was anyway. He had a lovely time, and then they came up and we watched Harry and poor old Towcester. They was not, they didn't cover themselves in glory. Some of the other teams just seemed to be a lot sharper, but they still had a good time, as we hear from Harry.
Harry at Long Buckby Festival. So how's it been for you today, Harry?
Hard.
How did you think you did?
I think I did good.
And what happened to you in the last game?
I hurt my back. My muscle clipped. Well, that's what I know.
But what happened?
After a couple minutes off the pitch, I went back on and finished the game.
Good. Wasn't a resounding success for Towcester today, was it? But you still carried on, played with your head up. Did you enjoy it, more importantly?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
There he is. So he's still enjoying it, and poor Towcester. So they've got two teams up there in Towcester, but they were getting injured. They were dropping like flies. We didn't know if we were going to have. Honestly, some of them were. Poor Harry got injured, as he said at one point, but he went back on again. But it was
Brave soldier.
Poor little darlings were going down all the time, and against different opposition as well. I think the ground was a bit harder than it has been because it's dried out a bit.
Yeah, I think that's going to be coming to. You could see that actually at. I caught a glimpse of what was going on at Exeter, and it looked like concrete. Bath and Exeter were playing.
It's drying out, and so that was. Anyway, Harry got a medal, so he was happy, and. They'll have learnt a lot. No, they weren't. They're under 10s. They'll have learnt nothing. But I do say, but the coach who was doing the referee when he had to apologise to them, I'm sorry, but I've got to give that as a penalty against you. I thought,
and as a result, won the Sgt Wilson Award. So that's the first. Yeah. So if we can find out the poor chap's name, that would be great.
Yes, I will endeavour. And another shout out, of course, to the lady that I did my Samaritan shift with, Catherine.
Yes.
Hello, who said, in my photograph that's on the board, I've got my Saints hoodie on, so with the new crest. So, are you a Saints supporter then? And am I? And it turns out she's busy mates with the Furbanks.
Well,
So,
there you go. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Merrythorn, Catherine. And, well, there you go. How is your walking rugby?
I don't know. They had a game against Old Leamingtonians last Thursday. Looked like everybody had a really smashing time.
Excellent.
We went there because we were at Cheltenham races.
Of course, yes, you were, explaining about your largesse at Goldington Road.
Yes.
Well
So one of us did really, really well. One of us.
One of us is the IT department.
Yeah, well, we know his betting. I mean, it's amazing. All his horses got round. No, they didn't actually. One of them pulled up, but they were all right. But no, my biggest win came thanks to Doddy the Great, which the rugby connection, of course, is that all his money that he wins goes to the Doddy Weir Foundation. So, and he was 16-1 on the race course. So, thank you very much to Doddy the Great.
Well done. Top work. Dr. Jones had a good time at walking rugby. I think there was a bit of, yes, but he came back in one piece and seemed to enjoy himself. So that's all good. And I don't think we needed to get the TMO involved this week.
Oh, good.
Which is good because they didn't have one. Talking about our earlier conversation.
What laws are we playing under this week?
So well done to Saints for in the Easter holidays having an open training session.
Yeah. That looks really good. Yeah.
So that's a instead of the open day, have an open training session. So lots of kids will get and mums and dads will get to see, and grandparents. I imagine there'll be quite a few grandparents. Will get to see how the lads train. Yeah, and listen to Radda's whistle. So
I do hope that in the open training session they remember that there are children present, because you and I have been in those training sessions.
Get a bit right.
And some of the language is not for the faint-hearted.
No.
Or the maiden aunties. Yeah. Yes. So.
Yes. So Saint Supporters Club.
We've got a committee meeting tonight. Nothing really to report on, really, because we haven't had much rugby, have we? So,
it's been a funny old period, as usual. Yeah,
really weird, especially with the women finishing so early as well.
Yeah, it's been a very, very odd season because of that. It's very, very strange.
I suppose we ought to mention that Bath annihilated Exeter in the Prem Cup.
47 players have been involved in Bath's Premiership Rugby Cup run.
Sorry, 47. 47. We haven't got 47 in the squad. Well, we have.
We have.
But if you take out those involved in internationals, I bet we'd be hard pressed to have 47.
Yeah.
47 players involved in that. No, that's ridiculous. No.
Well done for Gloucester Hartbury for winning for the third time in a row the PWR, beating Saracens at the Stonex. And well done to Sharkey, who sorted out the camel and won the mascots race. I noticed.
Oh, well done, Sharkey.
Yeah,
yes.
I noticed that Bernie was putting in a good fist of it, but it was Sharkey. And well done to Sale for actually, taking the gauntlet and producing a little video of all the ways that Sharkey can win, whilst stamping on a picture of the camel.
Where is that then?
Somewhere on the socials, but yes,
on the socials. I'm going to go and look for that.
Sharkey was taking it very seriously, so well done.
Well, we took it seriously, didn't we? When we were having Bernie was having a race with somebody. We took it seriously, we thought.
Well, we had the incident in Croke Park where they changed the rules and poor old Bernie got done over like a kipper.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But I think Bernie has won a mascots race at some point in his existence. Yes. I think he has won. But, so well done to Sharkey That was
Sharky.
we
That's
all
really
wanted
good.
to see that. Yes, and well done to Gloucester Hartbury. And played some really good rugby. Nilled Saracens in the second half. So we're convincing winners in the end.
Excellent.
Excellent.
So I suppose that's it. We're looking ahead now to Derby weekend. Friday Night Lights, Leicester Tigers.
Ooh. Yeah. And I can't wait. I'm really excited. And I'm having to. I've even packed. My bag's already packed. I've saved one job.
It's Monday.
I know it's Monday. Actually, to be fair on me, it is a new bag because of my back problems. I've got a new bag, so I was trying stuff out. The only thing I haven't done is put the cards and formatted them in the. But everything's charged up, all ready to go. And I'm having a debate with myself whether about to take the big lens up to Scotland. I haven't decided yet. Such is my excitement. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to. I think, as we all are, we can't wait to get back into it. We just want to get going again, and get the boys back and see.
I think the boys are just desperate to be back. I was talking to George Hendy on Friday, who tried to chuck me under a bus.
Naughty George.
You've got to get up earlier, George, because that's never going to work. So,
but
for those wondering,
yes, Tom Lockett's story. Here you go, Kerry. You can have. Which end do you sit at, Claire? The one you're attacking, Tom? That's why you see me at both ends during a game?
Bless him. So, yes. So young Mr. Hendy, as he was talking to Jake Garside's mum, and Jake's brother was playing for...
Certainly was. Alfie, yeah.
So Hendy Minor, Hendy Junior said, "So, Liz, who's your favourite Bedford player?" Obviously, Jakey's brother. So, thinks George, I've got to hear. And his name is Alfie. I'm not going to say Alfie, am I?
So I think the level of questioning needs to get harder, George.
Yeah. So Mummy
Garside
fell about laughing at that, and George looked suitably.
Oh!
It's the daughter this time.
Oh! So the the Saunders family can't wait to get involved. Are we just WhatsApping go away?
Hello. I'm just finishing the pod.
Yeah, you're this week's interruption, Hannah.
It was your granny last week. It's you this week, and my family. Honestly, they all want to be in on the act. Speak to you in a minute. Happens every time. Mondays. I'll speak to you in a minute.
Anyway.
Well, it won't ever be my son. I mean, that is the comfort. It won't ever be my son.
Oh, actually, talking of treasure, no, we weren't, but Treasure Corner.
Oh, yes, we have. You have a new,
new item. The cap I was given, my lovely cap, I was given by Dingers and Ferbs for my 500th cap. Or 500th game behind the lens. So I thought, well, if we're going to have a treasure corner, let's put it pride of place with the third of a sock, the lovely trophy from the wheelchair rugby guys. We were very remiss last week, actually, Liz. We didn't mention the wheelchair. It was my fault. We didn't mention them, and they won all of their games in the Development League. Yeah. So well done to everybody.
Well done.
They were off at Worcester, I think, for the round of the Development League. They won everything and played really well. So well done. And so but there you go. And so my lovely trophy, and then of course Daisy. So the treasure corner grows
I'm going to have to go hunting for Treasure Corner now.
Well, you're royalty. You're rugby royalty, so I don't think we just need,
I think it's more rugby midwifery, really, than royalty.
Giving birth to a sport. That conjures up an image. Anyway.
Well, I wasn't. I was just facilitating. I think.
Anyway, everybody, that was episode 65 of the Ladies Wot Pod. Thank you for staying with us. Do subscribe. Do send us comments. Do, come and say hello at the game on Friday. We do like to hear from you.
Yeah, come and find us. Come and find us.
You'll
at
be
the game
haloing,
on Friday.
I assume.
I will, of course, I'll be haloing. I will be haloing.
Yeah, and it won't be like the Coventry game, on a one-to-one relationship.
It will not be. It will not be bespoke haloing. It'll be it's over there.
Anyway, everybody, let's get back to it. It's the run into the season starts now. So see you on Friday,
and we'll see
you next week for the pod.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.